Good morning and welcome to episode 30 of Garmin to smashing a PB at London Marathon 2025 question mark. Yeah, for the new viewers, basically what I'm doing is I have punched in on my Garmin the London Marathon, which has been given me, or a place has been given to me by a fantastic charity, Seeability. As always, check the link below please and donate to the Just Giving page. Let's raise as much money as we can for this fantastic charity. I was lucky enough to go and see one of their centres when I was over in the UK last year for the London Marathon, which I ran for Seeability again, and the work they do there is amazing. And so please let's raise as much as we can. And so yeah, so I punched in the Garmin the ambitious PB time that I'm aiming for, and yeah, I'll tell you now. I mean, well, it's been out now. Yeah, it's 3 hours 30. I'm trying to go for. Bearing in mind my PB for a marathon is 4 hours and 42. But I'm following what Garmin tells me. I have to adapt it, and you'll understand. And well, if you're regular to the channel, you'll know. But basically I'm following the plan. The plan changes a lot through bad sleep for me, so I had to change the plan a lot, especially these last couple of weeks. But the idea is that the Garmin then gets me to smash my PB. So yeah, it's already done that to a lot of PBs already. I mean, 5Ks, I've done 2 PBs, and I've done a 10K PB, and I've done a half marathon PB. So it works to that extent, but there's a lot more variables to hit a marathon. So, there is the Garmin predictor that tells you the time, and I matched it on my second PB for the 5K, and that, so it gives you a little bit of confidence there. But again, there's a lot more variables in a marathon than a 5K, so that's what we're doing. So this week starts off peak phase now. Yeah, it doesn't really help when Garmin gives you a rest day because of bad sleep and delayed training readiness because of bad sleep, and that. So, but that's what it's done. Yes, I'm dressed as if I'm not running, but in my backpack I have my running stuff. So before it gave me a rest day, it gave me a threshold, and that was at 7 minutes for 4 times, I think it was, at 166 beats per minute. But that's disappeared. It's gone into a rest day, like I say. I have a rest day tomorrow. Tuesday's always a rest day for me. I never run on a Tuesday. So the plan is to put that threshold run into my watch manually and do it, and then rest up tomorrow, etc, etc. I understand yesterday was long. I did a half marathon after a big kind of all body workout at the gym with work colleagues, and then I did a half marathon running home, but it was gentle. I wasn't running for pace or anything, but I understand the watch thinks my body needs a lot more rest, blah blah blah. But you should understand now that you think that one algorithm would kick in saying, do you know what, it's all right, because my HRV is slap bang in the middle, and the description on it says you're handling your training very well, and this is me adapting my plan, or the Garmin plan. So that's the one thing about Garmin. As much as it says something about one thing, it takes it away another. So a lot of contradiction on its own watch kind of format. So, and it's only a watch, and it's only going by algorithms, so I understand that. If it was a coach that was deciding
It would be doing. Yeah, I mean, I will be doing the threshold, things like that. So I'm not worried about it. Like I say, I'll get this threshold done. I'm now looking at mileage as well per week. Garmin has to give me the mileage. You mean, it did have me down for a 2-hour 44 run during the week. I think that's dropped right down now. I can't do that. You know what I mean? So I will be doing my own planned runs as we go along on the thing. I do check another app to make sure that I am being where I'm supposed to be on the long runs, but we'll see on that. So the marathon training is, yeah, we are in peak phase now, so we just really have to kind of knuckle down, put in the hard work, and if I had to overrule Garmin, I'll overrule, but we'll see. I mean, it's how it is. I mean, but Garmin has done me well, so I'm not going to complain as such. But I just have to make sure that I am looking after myself on this as well. So, but yeah, you're up to date. I'll keep you posted, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, it's Wednesday in the morning. Pretty grim weather outside, and I've just dropped my kids off to school. You can see all my kit down here. I'm about to pack that up and put it on as I go off to work very shortly. I thought it might be a bit easier to do the video recapping here instead of getting wet on the way. So Monday, yeah, interval session. I wasn't sure how it was going to go really, because obviously the gym workout on the Sunday and then the half marathon run home, and kind of took it out of me. Very tired and a little bit sore on Monday, I can tell you. So yeah, I went out. You know, I ran it in the central, Bergen City Centre, around the swimming pool area, the big lake that I normally do the loops, like some of my speed work, and you mean the hour session basically covered 11 kilometers, an average heart rate of 151, and an average pace of 5 minutes 29 seconds per kilometer. I mean, that was for the whole session though, so I'm not worried about that on the intervals thing, on that as an overall, because the nitty gritty is the intervals. So let's dive into the stats on that one. Really happy. I'm not going to lie, when I was kind of starting the first one, I was like, oh, can I manage to do it? Again, mental toughness, yeah? Can I manage to do this? Let's just kick on and keep going. And that, then you get your second one done and always and then you're like, oh, well, maybe I could just drop the third or whatever. But, you know what I mean? It's all about mental toughness and strengthening. So another great session to do that as well, where you just keep pushing away and plugging at it. And that showed in the numbers, to be honest. The first and second 7 minutes intervals was 4 minutes 33 per kilometer pace. Now this isn't all out sprinting, so it goes off crazy and that. So you're in your maximum and that. I mean, this was trying to keep it controlled, 166 beats per minute. I didn't have my heart strapped to that on this thing, so I was only on my watch. So you have to be a bit careful that with a watch, sometimes the heart rate spikes and that, because it's not so gradual and flowing as a heart rate strap. So really pleased to have those two kind of very similar. I mean, 4 minutes 33 and 4 minutes 34 per kilometer on those first 7 minutes. And then, I mean, there is some hilly sections. So maybe, if I recall, I kind of on my third lap, I got to a hilly bit, so I had to go up a bit, which is going to slow my progress down a little bit. So I did do a 4:45 minute per kilometer pace on the third lap, and that of the interval. But you mean, I'm not going to deny I was tired too. You mean, it's a tough ask doing all of this. So then I was pleased with the fourth effort. They got me 4:42. So a little bit quicker. I remember as I was running up, I was going to start this uphill bit, so I kind of knew that if I carried on going, I was going to go up the hill, and then it takes me further away from where I need to be later on. So I kind of did a U-turn around the lamppost, came back on the flat, and kind of sprinted off for the last 30 seconds to kind of finish off my run, and then head back on my cool down run back to where I work, so I can get changed and get home basically. So those 4 intervals of 7 minutes, I covered 6 kilometers, so I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? It was a good session. There was a 2-minute recovery. I kind of walked the first minute, you know what I mean, get my heart rate right down, and then I kind of just a little gentle plod, just to get the heart rate in the zone or keeping the right motion. So an absolute fantastic workout. So, and you mean, obviously Tuesday was a rest. I never run on a Tuesday, so I enjoyed that. You mean, obviously these sessions are knocking out my training readiness along with bad sleep, blah blah blah. So I'm trying to get that body battery bit back up, like the training readiness. So what does the watch have in store today? Well, it still says I've got high recovery needs, like time needs. It's about 56 hours. And that's so instead of a base run of 1 hour and 15 minutes, it's kind of got me on a recovery run 27. And then my long run tomorrow is dropped down to 1 hour 44. But I mean, I'll have it here. And that just to show you, I mean, because it's been, to be honest, I'm not going to lie, it's been a long time since I've actually done a workout on the plan as the day. So as you can hear that, I'm not doing a recovery run today. We are in peak training. So I need to, I'm not doing a recovery run. I am going to run home. I gotta do about 15 kilometers in my head. In my head, I got a weekly mileage I want to hit now, in kind of progressing way, and that using the 10% rule, and that's it's all controlled, and that I will do a long run tomorrow, but it's not going to be 1 hour 44 minutes. It's going to be double that. Well, not double that, but it's going to be a 30k tomorrow, 32k I think. But the weather's really crap today, so I'm quite glad that I'm going to do a shorter run, and that I just fitted out with personal life, and that to keep it this way, because originally I was going to swap it over, and I do a long run today and then the base run tomorrow. But we'll kind of do that today, so it'll be about 15 kilometers, and that, these runs are picking up in distance, so I do have to kind of tweak my way home now. I've already got an extended loop out, now I have to extend that loop out before coming home. So it's all part and parcel of training, and that is what the mileage goes up. So we'll do that basically. That's where we're at. I'm just going to do this base run today and then rest up, and should kick into a long run tomorrow. But I'll speak to you about all of that lot tomorrow. Have a great day.
Good morning, it's Thursday. So quick recap on Wednesday's run. So really close to getting back onto the Garmin plan as such, but it did change me to that recovery run and that. So we did just under 16 kilometers, 15.84, with 1 hour and 35 minutes 31 seconds, and that the average pace was 6:02 per kilometer, and the average heart rate was 144. So that was a nice gentle run in awful weather. My shorts, which are in my bag at the moment, because yes, I'm running home extended. They're still wet, so I've got to hang them up at work to dry them out a bit. Maybe put them in the oven for a bit or something. And but no, I will get them dried out properly. Last thing I want to do is really put these soggy clothes and that. But the weather was just tipping it down. I was lucky that maybe like the last quarter of the run it stopped, and that. But you're soaking wet. It's and that. But it's just nice that I wasn't having to run all of it in the rain. So yeah, you mean apart from the weather, it was an absolutely fantastic run. You mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind running in the rain anyway, and it's always good to train in whatever weather, because you don't know what the weather's going to be on the event. So you mean, that's why I do the run in the snow and the rain, and I've done it in some ice and all that lot. But you know, I mean, if it's too dangerous, then I'll jump on the treadmill and that. But so today, what are we doing? Well, it's originally Garmin had this as my long run, but it's changed from a long run to a base run. To about 40 minutes. I'm not sure. I'll post it and that, but I'm not doing that. You mean, I'm sticking to the original plan. I got my kids this weekend, so the long run at the weekend is not as great for me. So it's better to do the long run when I don't have them. So I will do the long run today. And my my training readiness is up to 41, so it will go up a little bit more, and all of that lot. So I'm quite happy with that. I know I'm going to knock it down to 1, because I'm going to do 32k, or the plan is 32k. It's always a bit dangerous when you say I'm going to do, because you never know what's going to happen on the run. So I'm going to treat this as like a marathon training one with the gels and that. So every half hour taking the gels and all of that lot. So getting up to the 20 miles in English will probably be the longest run I do in the block, but I'll be doing a few more of them, and that's the difference this time. The plan is to do 32k's now every week up until taper, which will be about 2 weeks before the marathon. So that's the plan. Obviously I've got work out the way first and that, so it's going to be a bit of a late night. I've got an early morning because I'm on the early shift tomorrow morning, but life is life. Garmin's going to hate me, but we'll tweak it around, which is a bit unfortunate because tomorrow they got a juicy threshold run in there, 2 times 15 minutes at 166. So where I did 4 times 7 minutes on Monday, this is 2 times 15. So I like that. So I'm going. I don't think it won't be good to do on the Friday. So I think the plan will be I'll do that at the weekend and that. So I'm going to save that one. I will save that run in my phone, so I can do it at a day that suits. But it'll be this weekend. Like I say, I'm guessing Garmin's going to really knock out my run. I got an idea of how much mileage I want to hit this week, and the mileage is hopefully in the 80s. We're going to try and hit 80k this week. Technically, might even hit two marathons if I get up to pretty much just under 85. So business end is creeping up now. Yeah, we're ramping it up and we're getting there, but Garmin's a little bit reluctant. Yeah, sleep. But I slept fair, so nothing's been delayed or nothing, so that's all good. But you guys are up to date. I will keep you posted, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Hello, and yeah, it's been a couple of days since the long run. It's now Saturday morning. Yeah, I mean, Garmin obviously gave me a little bit of a rest, but I'll get all onto that very shortly. So a quick recap now of Thursday, and what is my plans for today. As you can see, I'm in my running vest, so I'll keep you updated very shortly on that. But so Thursday was long run, and as much as Garmin had been changing me about a bit, I had it in my plans to do the long run anyway, but it was always going to be a lot longer than Garmin wants, because it's just not giving me the actual time. Although for next week, if it sticks, there's a 2:44 or 2 hour 44 long run, but we all know what kind of happens there. I'm on the aftermath still of my long run on Thursday via Garmin, so I just have to
adapt and that. So, but long run after work, I knew it was going to be a bit of a tough one because of the time. And I mean, I don't finish work till about 6 o'clock ish. So getting out after that, it's a long run home. Extended out going on to the Bergen City Marathon course. Basically, I did half marathon of that, and then I got on to run home from there. So altogether, it's 32.83 kilometers. So just a little bit over, well, about 20 miles, 20 and a half miles in the English miles. It's that distance that kind of marathon training blocks, it's the golden mileage as such. Most plans normally only do 1 or 2 of these runs, or maybe 1 run of this, and then you get a couple of runs at 30k. My plan now, as I override the long runs anyway in the Garmin to get the distance, I now look at doing 32 kilometers every week from now to the run up, which means only 6 to 7 weeks, 50 days or something. So obviously there'll be a 2-week taper. So I won't be doing any crazy 30Ks in them. But we just got to see how I can ramp up my mileage and all of that lot for the rest of this training plan before taper. So the run took me 3 hours, 21 minutes, 58 seconds. I clocked. So I'm happy with that. What do you mean I'm happy? Over the moon. It's kind of like a gentle run. Average heart rate was 146, which I was very happy with how controlled that was generally, knowing that, like, again, it's a hilly course. So your heart rate is always going to pump a bit more on the hills and things like that. But I tried to take the downhill parts controlled as well. I could have maximized pace on this one. But this 32k was just about getting the distance to make sure I'm getting more comfortable with that. And then we will add pace in later. But the pace altogether was 6 minutes and 09 per kilometer, minutes per kilometer. 32k, happy with that. That was fantastic. It's just kind of showing the progress, and it was a comfortable run. I felt great. My fueling strategy, every half an hour of a gel, kicked in a caffeine gel at 2 hours, just not more for the boost of energy, but more of the focus. Like wake up the mind, keep it focused, and things like that. I know there's a lot of talk about the caffeine gels and when and where you should take them. Some people like to take them right at the end just to give them that extra boost to get over that finish line. Sometimes you might need a wake up as you're running, so keep you focused in like the boring part of the run. It's a marathon, they turn around and say, is a 32k training run and a 10k race. It's different views on all of this lot, and I totally get that. So but really enjoyed that long run, and a really good confidence booster, and that as we go pushing ahead. So obviously that wiped out my training readiness. Didn't go down to 1, it went down to 3, but stuck there for 2 days. So maybe it's just Garmin acknowledging that I'm kind of not absolutely fatigued, but drained a bit. So obviously with the Thursday late night and an early swap round Friday to get to work, the sleep was awful according to the watch. So there was no, the training readiness got delayed, blah, blah, blah. But we knew that was going to happen. So obviously it gave me a rest day yesterday, which I took as a running rest day. I did a good, probably about 40 minutes strengthening, conditioning on a set of routines. Some of the stuff I learned from the gym workout with work on the Sunday, and then some other stuff that my physio has already set me before from last year's marathon training block, and a few extra little bits just for help, strength and conditioning. Pretty much all lower body, basically. A little bit of upper, and obviously the stronger core keeps me upright for longer when I'm running. So, you know, good little rounder there. Nothing too crazy though. And I'm not a gym monster, so it's, you know, I mean, just something that will hopefully keep the wear and tear of my legs and running ability going forwards. And so basically what's happening now, I mean, I slept good, or in my eyes I slept good in nearly 9 hours, but the REM was really low, so it says I'm, you know, not kind of thing, but recovery is still 40 something hours. So he's given me another rest day. Not going to happen now. As you can see, I'm dressed to go out. I'm going to go to the track. And I'm also going to do Monday's planned threshold, which is 15 minutes twice at 166 beats per minute. So yeah, obviously a warm up before and a recovery in the middle, about 3 minutes, and then a cool down at the end. So I'm going to hit the threshold run, because apparently this training block is supposed to be pushing my pace and speed and intensity of runs, but Garmin's giving me rest days. So a little contradictory on that, and yes, I know I've gone over the Garmin a bit, but by doing this, I'm still following the plan by using a run from another day. So, you mean I already got a planned run for tomorrow? It'll be a slow, longish run, not crazy, less than half marathon. So, you mean it's peak marathon training phase. So, you mean, and that will get me up to a very, very nice record-breaking for me distance again. But you know, we'll come across on that one tomorrow. So that's where you're all updated now. So I will catch you after the runs. Hello, and it's Sunday. I just finished my Sunday run, but I remembered I haven't told you about Saturday's run, so we'll skip on to that one first. So Saturday, yeah, I did the threshold at the track, and basically 10.5 kilometers altogether, at an average of 5:15 average pace, you know, minutes per kilometer. And that it was 155 beats average per minute on my heart rate, and the exercise was 55 minutes. But you mean that was the total, and that. But you mean 10-minute warm up, 5-minute recovery, 10 minutes cool down in the space of, you know, in between the two 15 minutes at 166. Those two 15 minutes is really like the important stats. And that, you mean, it's like I walk the first minute of recovery, I walk the first minute of the cool down, you know what I mean? So it has a knock-on effect on the averages and all that line. I'm not worried about the whole score, it's the intervals that are important. So let's just dive into them a little bit now. So the first interval was average pace of 4:29 minutes per kilometer. I covered 3.35 kilometers or something like that. I did get slower, you know what I mean? I started off too quick, I overcooked it. I think my quickest one was 4:19 per kilometer, and then it dropped down to 4:30 on the second one, and then a bit slower on the third, and that for the last part of it. But that's to expect, you know, I expect that. I could feel it, and that. So that was the first one. But you know, I mean, it's over my lactate threshold, yeah. So that's all good. You know, I mean, it's all progress on that. So the second interval session was more leveled and a little bit slower than the first, but then, like I said, I overcooked it. But the average was 4 minutes and 38 seconds per kilometer, and that. But it averaged out pretty evens. You know what I mean? It was 4:36 for the first, then 4:39 for the second. So that kind of really showed, in my eyes, a nice progress. Yeah, I overcooked the first one and you feel it or whatever, but you mean I'm not running this speed at the London Marathon. A bit annoying that I'm not sure if my lactate threshold is readings are going properly on my Garmin, because nothing's really updated since beginning of February, and my fitness is
getting a hell of a lot better. You mean it's I don't know. I mean, I put a few things out in the Garmin forums, but they kind of say that it's, you know, it's auto detection, so it should work it out itself. But I don't know. Maybe it's still telling me off that I'm not sleeping well enough. Who knows? But really good session on Saturday. You mean, I went further than I expected actually. I thought I was only going to cover like 8 or 9 kilometers during that run, but you know, to do 10.5 around the track, that was really good, and it set me up for a nice bit for Sunday really, because as much as you know what I mean, it's I'm kind of looking out for my body and things like that. I am kind of wanting to connect up with some mileage and that, so I had a goal for this week and a goal for the next week and the next. I got a goal all the way up now for my up until tapering basically on my total mileage. But today's run, Garmin didn't want me to do any running today. Still poor sleep, interrupted 8 hours, whatever. Felt good, body feels good, and I kind of, you mean, like I said, my heart HRV status is getting too good, and that telling me that I'm, you know, my body is coping really well with the training load, considering I'm hammering it now, and that I'm not going to deny that. But yeah, it's a little contradiction there. Training readiness was delayed by sleep and that, so a little bit annoying. But the plan today was to get me up to a whole goal mark. That's 85 kilometers for the week. It's huge for me. I've never done it, and at least I don't think I have. And so that meant I had to do 15k. So just went out, did a general jog, 15k. So we can go into those stats now. So yeah, 15 kilometers, 1 hour 28, 52 seconds. Just kind of went to do it gently really, and that and it kind of showed a bit with the heart rate, 144 beats per minute average. And like I said before, it is a hilly course, and that track down there, and that's quite nice to get onto the race track where it's just flat and just going around and that. So really pleased with that, and the average pace 5.54 per kilometer. So again, I think that's showing good good progress, where the longer distances are staying at this level, and that especially after a long week. And that's the idea now, is to kind of rest up, get a video out, enjoy the rest of the weekend with my kids, and plan for next week, because next week it's going to get longer. So like I said, 85 kilometers for the week now. We'll call the whole video a wrap now. So if you please, you know, like, click, subscribe, tell your friends, share this content. Follow me on Instagram, Neil_dad_that_runs, and please click on the link below for Seeability, the charity that's given me this amazing option, or an amazing chance to run the London Marathon. You can see my little one's just tried to pop her head in. Where is she? Hey, she wants to be in the video, so let's have a quick say. And
hello.
There's Tyler, and I think my oldest is just hidden somewhere. And that, so yeah, enjoy your weekend. Like I say, click in the link below for Seeability. Let's raise as much money for them for yeah, a great cause and a fantastic opportunity to run the London Marathon 2025. Have a great one. Oh, hang on a minute, my youngest wants to say something.
Help Daddy run London Marathon by giving him money.
Well, it's not me the money, the charity the money, yeah?
Like taking money in.
Okay, thanks very much. I'll catch you guys later.